of course, when we're talking about the functions, once we learn the functions and everything about them, the deficiency of a particular vitamin becomes much more clear. So if you think about opposites, if, for example, red blood cells aren't created properly, we're going to get pernicious anemia. If we need folic acid for a healthy immune system, we're going to get very, very tired. We're going to get fatigued, is another word for tired. Now, as you know, one of the sources of folic acid I mentioned already is that a certain amount can be produced in the gut, in your intestines. So really, deficiency of folic acid is rare because of gut synthesis. Now, we've talked about the risk of anemia, and this anemia is particularly more likely to happen during pregnancy. And also because of the important role of folic acid in the development of the fetus, there is a risk of premature births and low birth weight if there's not enough folic acid in the diet. We've talked about the risk of pernicious megaloblastic anemia. That's where the red blood cells are very, very large when we can't make enough intrinsic factor to absorb B12. And then, of course, we've got the increased risk of neural tube defects, for example, spina bifida and encephali. That's my cat calling me. So, previous exam questions that have appeared about folic acid are as follows. A short question in an ordinary level paper was simply to outline 2 functions of folic acid or folate in the body. Now, the next thing is a little bit of a trick question, right? Name 2 B group vitamins that assist in the metabolism of carbohydrates. Now, as you have just learned, everything to do with folic acid is really to do with protein. So the answer would not be folic acid. Can you just refer back and remember which 2 B group vitamins assist in the metabolism of carbohydrates? I'll give you a second to think. And the answer is thiamine and niacin. Now, folate will occur in a question in conjunction with B12. I've seen this happen a few times. So outline the functions of each of the following B group vitamins. You can answer in a chart form and just list below. And when you're doing your notes, to put the functions side by side so that you can see similarities and differences between similar vitamins that have a relationship with each other. A similar question that asks about folate and cobalamin in the same breath would be presented as having to list the sources in the diet, the functions, the effects of deficiency, and the properties. And there could also be a question asked in conjunction to pregnancy. Why is it so important that expectant mothers ensure an adequate intake of folic acid? And another question which might link up will be to discuss the nutritional significance of cereals in the diet, and you can give folic acid as an example under, that's a typo, it should say vitamins there, and you can give folic acid an example under B vitamins. So your homework tonight is to write an informative note on folate or folic acid. Your answer should be no more than 1 page long. Focus on colour, neatness, presentation, so that this will be a good study guide for you later on. Thank you for watching.